Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the channel RVCCIS.info, where faculty representatives from Rock Valley College's Computers and Information Systems Department talks to you, our community at large, about things roughly having to do with computer science. Joining me, as always, are Jim and Stephanie. I don't know whether or not that's going to be pointing in the right or the wrong way later on. Howdy, everybody. I'm Eric, and today we thought we would talk about some of the entry-level positions that you can expect after having secured a degree or a certificate with us. I think one of the things we probably talked the least about over the course of this last year is what you can do with your degree, because we haven't been in the classroom and we've forgotten. At least I know I have.
We've been a little busy.
Yeah, it's knucking futs.
Yeah, it was crazy before the tornado hit our building.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah. In addition to COVID. Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm.
It hasn't let up. What kinds? So maybe we should do this by degree. I think that'd be best. I know this is my feeling, and I guess I'm curious what you guys think. Is there are no more generalization jobs left in all of the computer science kingdom? Is that true?
Well, what do you call help desk? What do you count that? Is that more networking?
I don't know, but don't they separate them out? If it's networking help desk, you get that. But if it's like hardware, software, you get a different kind of specialization. I don't know.
It depends on where you're at.
That's
because,
true.
Yeah.
you know, like here at Rock Valley, everyone takes everything at the help desk, basically. So
yeah, I think it depends on the company too. Yeah.
All right. I was just checking. I would say from my experience that the smaller the company may be, so Rock Valley is not a huge, staffing behemoth or anything, but the smaller the company, the more liable you are to be able to generalize a little. The larger the company, there's no generalization there at all. You get one small, slice of the overall whatever pie is, and then that's the lane you will be kept in.
Around here, we have a lot of small businesses that people work for. So it seems like maybe around Rockford, there's a little more generalist stuff, and you kind of have to be more of a jack of all trades. But, we do have students that go up to Madison and work for the bigger companies and then really specialize in the different areas.
Yeah. Go ahead, Steph.
Like our Cisco networking degree and our data assurance and IT security degrees, those two are very similar, where you would start in a similar help desk networking area. But like the web degree, you would definitely go into a different area with that.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. I think, around here, it seems like you're going to wear a lot of different hats because you find that the companies that hire around here, a lot of them won't have a big staff. So you might be the server person one day and even a little bit of web person the next day and the help desk every day for all your users. And then, networking on another day. And it's makes their days interesting. I'll give them that, because no day is the same. But they better have their, fingers in a lot of different pies at first, because they're going to really be stretched to know everything. Not that the employers expect them to know everything, but they want them to be, okay, you might not know a lot about this, but we want you to help us do it. So
right.
Yeah.
And maybe that is a geography thing, but I'll say when I hear employers talk about what kinds of experience they want for entry-level positions, it's like, so I want somebody with 20 years of experience who has, all this management expertise, but then is willing to take $8.75 an hour or something. It's like,
I saw this meme today. It was a 20-year-old, and they said they want 10 years of experience.
Right.
This entry-level job. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty much how it feels right now.
Yeah, they want the world. That's what I tell my students. If it's an entry-level job, they still want the world, like you two said. but apply anyways, because
Right.
they're not going to get somebody, for entry level that has 20 years experience.
Right. Or because by the time you get 20 years of experience and you look at the paycheck, you're going to be like, nah, and you're going to keep moving on.
Yeah. What about web? I mean, I guess that's the only that I don't have as much experience with is your web students.
Yeah, the web, and again, this might be the geography. So the difference between, being more familiar for a longer period of time anyway with like Milwaukee/Madison/Chicago areas versus Rockford is, you'll have the web folks that do the database interactions, so the back end development, and then you'll have the web folks that do the client side interactions, so the front end development. And again, if you're in a bigger place, you're going to specialize, but if you're in a smaller place, you will manage the both of those.
I would say, I mean, I'm going to be devil's advocate here, is I kind of like the Rockford area, or this area where you'd have to wear a lot of different hats, because if you get set into one technology or one narrow lane,
Right.
and then if that, as it happens, the technology changes or that job goes away, you're kind of screwed. You want to keep learning and
Mhm.
keep up to date with all the different technologies, whether you're web or networking or whatever it is, security, because it's just, you get comfortable. Obviously you want to be comfortable in your job, but you also want to keep stretching yourself,
Right.
because otherwise you could find yourself obsolete and outdated.
And
Yeah,
quick, because it's technology, right? So
yeah.
Yeah.
And then programming generally is, generally similar to what you were saying with your
Right.
web students.
Yep.
Yeah, like Jenny Kunkel, who teaches for us, and I mean, she's, even though she's a programmer, she's dealt with so many different technologies,
Mhm.
as it changes, and new front ends and
Mhm.
um
She's big into C# now, right?
yep, yeah,
Right.
yeah, exactly. So you're going to move from language to language,
Mhm.
that's not going to change.
Yep. And that's one of the things, like, I know when I work with students on what it is that they should be taking, I try, to spread out the kinds of languages that they're going to take, just because, you know, and here at the beginning of their career, if they are generalizing, they're going to need all of them. So, you know, C#, a little bit of C++, maybe iOS or Android programming, certainly JavaScript, Python, uh, everything is going to be a positive differentiator. It's going to be something that you can go to an employer and say, yeah, but I've already, if you haven't seen a ton of, at least you've seen some of a wide range of languages that are going to help you get off the ground in whatever, different selection that employer is going to have.
Yeah, that's correct. It's funny you should say that, Eric. I just saw I think it was Network World, actually. It was kind of odd, but they posted what, like the top 10 programming
Right.
languages, and the ones we teach, and this isn't a commercial for Rock Valley, but JavaScript, C#, C++, Python, the
And then
iOS,
Java was on their list again.
yeah, and
Yep.
Java. They're still, those are the popular ones still.
Mhm.
So, yep.
And then some of the old languages are coming back. I just saw Pascal and COBOL are seeing a huge
Are you
need
excited, Jim?
increase because like at the beginning of the pandemic, anybody who could retire did. And
Yes.
whether or not they wanted to, maybe. But now there's this huge lack of anybody who can program in those languages, and we're finding out that they're in really important connective places that we just didn't understand were still being used.
I can dust off my COBOL books.
There you go.
Well, a friend of ours, he's made a living off of COBOL consulting for I don't know how many years, and he finally, like you said, with COVID, dusted that off. But he was working for insurance agencies.
Oh,
Mhm.
That's who he
yeah.
was working for.
Yep. I could be wrong, but I swear it was 40,000% increase because it was such a low-lying need before, but then it just skyrocketed so hard. It was 4 or 40,000. It was one of the two.
Yeah, because all the people that knew COBOL were like, peace, I'm out.
Yep. You can take your pandemic and shove it. I'm staying at home.
Yeah. I'm done. I'm going into hiding.
Yep.
Oh.
So what do you think? Is there any place? So it's impossible to generalize, I think, out to what every student's unique experience is going to be for what it is that you're looking for. But usually when you see like a designation on a job, so it'll say help desk 1, that means it's pretty low on the totem pole, and oftentimes that signals an entry level job. Or you know, are there any other words we should look for an indication there other than experience?
Well, I mean, anything that has like technician, network technician, systems technician, usually analyst
help
is a
desk
little bit.
technician. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe like software. Yeah, like software designer 1 or yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
Any good places to look for these kinds of jobs?
I don't know. Indeed seems to have most everything. I mean, even Rock Valley, that's what they use to advertise
When
their
we choose
jobs.
to advertise for positions, you may or may not find us on Indeed.com.
Yeah, I did find our CIS adjunct on there, so what's finally popped up.
If you find a CIS adjunct on there, let us know.
Yeah.
I agree with Indeed. Actually, for everybody watching, we do have a separate whole site that is dedicated to what you can do to find and secure work. And we have it in 3 phases: the job search, the resume, and the interview. You can find those at rvccis.org as opposed to .info, which is this little venue. And then it's workshops, and it's pretty clear it's called the Finding Work Workshop, which one to go to. And there's really a huge list of places that you would look for what kinds of work it is that you're looking for. So for those of you who are first or second year at, getting your feet wet with, IT security or networking or programming, there are internships listed there. It's actually internships.com. And the link is there at rvccis.org. There are government jobs. It sounds crazy after the last 40 years of government jobs going like this, but they're suddenly going like this because we're finding that, we've hit the bottom of, the resource barrel here and we need to hire more. I have never seen as many jobs posted there in Wisconsin, Illinois, in Iowa, in Minnesota, because I figure you can travel over the summer potentially. I've never seen as many jobs in there as I have now. So it's crazy, but it's true. And then we mentioned Indeed. There's also Monster. I forget the other one I was going to mention.
Yeah.
Oh, Glassdoor.
Glassdoor.
Yep.
So there you have it. We can't really point you exactly, if you're looking for your first job, what's a good job title for that? Because there isn't one. Usually if you look for technician or level 1 or something to that effect, that's a really good place to start. Otherwise, look for how many years of experience it is that they're looking for. You can absolutely positively still apply for a job, even if they have a requirement of more experience than you have, because maybe you're a good fit for them. And maybe they're being unrealistic, because we have worked with folks who are pretty unrealistic about what they want from, I need an unpaid intern who's willing to work 87 hours a week and who's got 30 years of experience. Go yourself something. So those are good places to check. You can also check with any of us, because as it turns out, we know some things. Or I'll volunteer myself. You can also get that if you leave us a comment below. I will find it. And I will also leave in the description RVCCIS So like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell to be notified of any and all future content as it becomes available. You can also follow us on social media. We are at RVCCIS Info on Twitter, on Facebook, on anchor.fm, and here on YouTube. So on behalf of Rock Valley College, the entire community, stay safe and stay sane out there, everybody, and maybe start looking for work.
See ya.